today's video, we're talking about the S-Force Colombo, so let's get right into it. Starting off with price, we're looking at an MSRP of around $550. However, just talk to customer service, they'll give you a discount, and I'm pretty sure the price is going down as of today's video. So, don't ever take MSRP for face value. You can always find a better price if you're willing to put in some effort. And actually, going back to the topic of price, for some reason I went back to the website and the price went down to $369 as of today. So, I don't know if that price is going to go back up, but if you're watching today, then I highly recommend taking a look at it because that's a pretty good price. Going back to the watch, let's go ahead and do a quick 360. And you can go ahead and see the writing on the side of the case. It is engraved. And then here's the display case back. And then your butterfly clasp. And then on the other side with your crown, you also have some more writing, S-Force, which is engraved as well. And there you have it. For dimensions, across the case from 9 to 3, including the crown, we've got a diameter of around 55 millimeters, and then a case thickness of 12.5, which I actually really like that dimension. 13, 12, I think for me is the perfect number. And then for weight in grams, we're looking at 301 grams, or just over 10.5 ounces, which that's kind of heavy, but for me, I've been wearing Invictus lately, so weight really doesn't surprise me at all. 10.5 ounces is nothing for me these days, even though, before my Invicta days, that actually would have been a very heavy watch for me. As far as functions and features and all of that good stuff, so for the internals, all I could see was that it had a Miyota standard automatic movement. Which specific one, I don't know. I think it's got to be either the 8215 or 8315. Either way, Miyota movements are very reliable. I think they have a pretty good reputation in the watch community. And then you also have a date window right there, sapphire crystal. I want to say it's on both sides. I'm pretty sure the display case back is also sapphire. Again, this is more of just a first impressions, so I don't have all of the details. I just got this yesterday. But definitely the crystal on the dial is sapphire. And then for water resistance, 100 meters of water resistance, so perfect for casual swimming, snorkeling, showering, any kind of normal recreational activity that you want to do. However, the crown is not a screw down crown, unfortunately. I thought it would have been, but I guess that's the purpose of this crown guard or crown latch right there, which is a very solid latch. So it takes a definite force to get it off, and then when you push it in, let's see if you can hear that click. So if you heard that, that is the latch solidly clicking back into a secure position. I almost forgot to do a wrist shot. So here you go. This is what it looks like on the wrist. For me, I've got an 8 to 7.5 inch wrist, depending on the time of day. But that's how it looks like on mine. So keep in mind, this is a beefy, large watch, but I don't think it's too much. I think it's right at that point before it's getting too large. Now looking at the bracelet, obviously the thing that catches everyone's attention are these lug screws right here. At first I thought that these were going to be very uncomfortable and they would get in the way of wrist flexion, but because of the dimensions and the overall length of the case, they don't get in the way at all. It sits perfectly right on top of my wrist and they don't dig into anything. And I actually very much like this, just in style. So aesthetically, I think it looks cool, bold, and unique. But also in practicality, because I prefer lug screws vice spring bars. I just think it's of a higher quality. You got some branding right here, and on the other side, S-Force, and you got more branding on the bottom. So is that too much branding? For me personally, I think it's too much. Like, you don't, I get it. It's from S-Force. Some people might like that, but for me, I don't like it, but it's not a deal breaker for me. And then as far as the links go, you got your H links right here with the steel and gold two-tone finish, and then a locking butterfly clasp. Quality is fantastic. I think it gives the overall watch a very elegant look. I think any watch with a locking butterfly clasp is, looks more elegant. For me personally, it's not my ideal clasp, because while I accept the fact that it is very good quality, I just don't like it in practice. I prefer a standard fold over clasp because they're simpler, and I don't want to say more reliable, but yeah, no, screw it. I'm just going to say it. I think they're more reliable because these ones, in my experience, if I flex my wrist too much or I'm in like an awkward position, there's a high chance that both of these buttons right here, or release buttons, get pushed and then it opens up the watch. That could just be because of my big old fat wrist and hands, and you might not have that issue, but it's just something that I come across, so I wanted to share with you. But overall, quality of the bracelet is fantastic. No complaints there. So this is kind of a reverse unboxing, because personally I hate unboxings because I don't care about the box. But in this specific case, I want to dedicate some time to show you the packaging, because I think S-Force really did a fantastic job as far as presentation. So this is what you're getting when you get the Colombo. And when you remove the top, you see that it comes with this tool. So it's like a card tool. You've got some different types of hex wrenches, bottle opener, letter opener, all that stuff. It's not necessary, not required, but it's just cool that they offered that. You got a microfiber cloth right there, a certificate of authenticity. Nothing special, but it's just a nice touch. And then a very good quality manual. Also kind of like a catalog, but it's just, real good quality. Stuff like that makes me smile. And then here is really the star of the show as far as presentation goes. So let's check that out. So here is the main case or box that it comes in, and look at that. It's wood. I don't know what kind of wood. It's clearly got some type of red finish. I'm not sure if it's definitely not oak, because it's not heavy enough. At least I don't think so. But look at that. Beautiful. And it is as solid as it looks on the screen. And when you open it up, look at that. Beautiful. I'm not, this is definitely not leather, but still, like, this is so impressive. I am so impressed with the overall package and presentation. You've got other companies, and, don't take this the wrong way. I love Seikos and Citizens. Well, Citizen isn't as bad as Seiko, but Seiko will give you some cheap, trashy cardboard piece of crap after you spent, $400 or $500 on their watch. And, obviously you're not buying it for the packaging, but as a customer, this kind of stuff, the attention to detail and just the extra effort to make me feel like I'm cared for is just a real great touch. So if anyone that's working for S-Force is watching this video, just let your boss know, or you know that I really appreciate that, and I think everybody else who is a customer of S-Force really does appreciate this extra added attention to detail. So again, thank you. So now we're just going over my personal thoughts. I don't think I was ever the guy that would have invested any money in S-Force. Not, for any particular reason, I just never considered that watch to be something that I would like. But I saw the Colombo, and what the Colombo really reminded me of was my recently purchased Invicta Akula. And they're not the same, but you can tell that there are definitely similar properties, such as the two-tone finish, the blue style dial. So not the same, but you can see why this caught my attention, because the Akula is currently my favorite watch in my collection. So, I think it's clearly obvious why I would like something like this if I like something like that. Big, bold, hefty, beefy watches with what I consider an elegant color selection. And yeah, I am just as happy as I am with the Colombo as I am with the Akula, because as far as the overall package goes, there's not much difference there. I think S-Force did a really good job of making something that does have that elegant style, as I showed you with this butterfly clasp, and even, you know, with the automatic movement and the sapphire crystal. I think all of those things create an overall appearance of elegance. However, they had a very good balance between elegance and sporty, as shown in this dial, which here I'll put in some footage of a close-up. But you've got that like beehive style dial, and that one kind of ties it back to its weightlifting slash sports roots. And I think it's a good hybrid. You know, again, definitely not everyone's preferred style, but for those people that are into that kind of style, I think they did it just fine. If there's really one thing that I had to pick that I disliked about the Colombo, I guess it would be this latch. I'm just not a fan of crown latches. I think they're more gimmicky than anything else. I do understand the appreciation for this style. It does look cool, but I would have preferred a screw down crown vice a crown latch. Again, that's just my personal preference. As far as overall quality goes, it's still very solid. You do have a hand winding mechanism right there, and then it is a hacking movement, so you know, you can't complain about that. Overall, I'm very pleased with my experience with S-Force. And again, I'm not gonna lie, with a name like S-Force, I was expecting something very tacky, I don't know, just cheap, like a G-Shock knockoff. But that is absolutely not the case. I guess in this case I assumed wrong, because in my experience with this one watch from S-Force, it has been extremely high quality. I love the fit and finish. I love the overall density of the watch, and you know, from the movement to the crystal, it's all good, and just the company in general. So before I said that MSRP was around $550, but then you know, the price went down to what is $369. So, little short story, I emailed them today and I said, hey, I paid this price, but I noticed that the price went down. Can you give me a refund for the difference? And you know, they said yes. So I'm not sure if a lot of companies do that, but I know that S-Force does that, and I very much appreciate that kind of customer service as well. So long story short, so far so good with the S-Force Colombo. I'm very pleased with it. If you are like me and you just like large, big, bold watches that, you know, mean some serious business, then this is definitely going to be your cup of tea. Now, is it your cup of tea for $550? I don't know. That's really hit or miss, because I could swing either way in that decision. You know, if you really like it, then yeah, I think there's some value there. At $369, there's definitely a lot of value there. But at the $550 asking price range, that's really between you and your wife or your God. Really, that's on you. But at the price that I got it for, $369, that's a hell of a deal, and I highly recommend that to you. So if you're watching this now, on what is today, October 17th, then yeah, go for it, because I don't know if that price is going to last for a very long time. But so far so good. So anyways, that's all I gotta say for now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you with your next watch purchase. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.